So from all of this research, the 128 different studies, along with looking at the National Reading Panel component, the authors created the Early Literacy Skills Builder. It's based on research evidence. It was designed specifically for students with moderate to severe disabilities who may also be nonverbal. And all of the lessons are scripted, and they use systematic and direct instruction. In order to show you a little bit of the program, I'm going to show a video clip of Level A, which is that optional level for those students who do not have picture discrimination or awareness of books. This is going to be a clip of Level A, Objective 3.
Okay, Kayla, today we're going to read our favorite story, Oh My Apple Pie. But before we get started, we're going to play a game, and this game is a picture game. I'm going to show you your picture and your name. I want you to take a look at your picture, pretty girl. Look. Good job, Kayla. That's you. This is a picture of you, Kayla. And look, here is your name, Kayla. That's your name. I'm going to put the two together. Kayla, that's you, pretty girl. Now, I'm going to try to trick you. Let's see if you can look at your picture. Yeah, you cheated. You trying to look early? Where's Kayla? Good job, Kay. That is your picture. Very good.
Now let's play a picture game. Can we play a picture game, Gracie? Look, I have some pictures for you. That's Gracie. Look, sometimes it's easier to see our picture if we use a mirror. Do you see Gracie? This is Gracie. And this is Gracie. They're the same. Pretty girl. Oh, you see Gracie. Here's Gracie. I like how you're looking.
That video highlighted Kayla, who is part of the research group, and Level A. We will see a little bit more of Kayla and Level A a bit later in the presentation. The ELSB is part of a 5-year ongoing research project. We currently have completed 3 years of research. Students were randomly assigned to either the Edmark or the ELSB group, and the ELSB students had significantly higher scores on 4 separate measures: the ELSB pre and post test, the nonverbal assessment of literacy, which highlights phonics skills and conventions of reading, the PPVT test, as well as the Woodcock Language Proficiency Battery. Just to address the research population, I have a list of criterion that the authors needed to abide by. All students in the research study were in grades K through 5, were classified as having either a moderate or a severe intellectual disability or autism with an IQ of 55 or below. All students needed to have adequate hearing and vision to respond to verbal instructions and the printed materials. Some progress was shown in English instruction for those students who were ELL or ESL students. Additionally, all of your students will need to be able to participate in assessment with or without the use of assistive technology. And lastly, in order to monitor progress, it is important that your students have adequate attendance at school. In order to give you a better idea of the comparison of the treatment groups, there's a list here that shows the experimental and the control group. As I mentioned earlier, the experimental group is the Early Literacy Skills Builder, which gave students both phonemic awareness and phonics instruction, and the control group, which received instruction in Edmark, which highlights sight words and pictures. However, both groups received story-based lessons, which is story reading with systematic instruction. For those of you who are visual learners, this gives you a graph that shows the ELSB in comparison with Edmark. You can see the improvement for those students utilizing the ELSB in, for example, memory for sentences, letter word identification, phonics skills, and conventions of reading. In implementing the ELSB, all teachers in the research study were trained to follow a script. Many teachers had to repeat lessons. You may have students where repetition is a necessity. They may either need a lesson repeated 2 times, 4 times, or even 10 times. The program is taught to mastery, and your students should receive at least a 75% or higher on assessment before moving on to the next level. Additionally, the ELSB was found to work best in small groups or one-on-one. An essential component to the Early Literacy Skills Builder is building with stories. In sharing stories with students, we provide a template or task analysis to follow that will promote early literacy skills. The 10-step lesson is provided in the implementation guide, and teachers use the general ed literature in order to give access to language-rich material for their students with moderate to severe cognitive disabilities. Building with sounds and symbols is the other equally important component of the Early Literacy Skills Builder. This is the part where students learn vocabulary, phonemic awareness, listening comprehension, and conventions of print. At the end of Level 7, your student should be ready to start a beginning reading program, either at a K or first grade level. However, you may use the Early Literacy Skills Builder as a precursor to a corrective reading program such as SRA or Reading Milestones. The underlying principles in ELSB are direct instruction, systematic instruction with the use of prompting and a constant time delay, as well as errorless learning.